It's time. Let's break down this epic battle between AC Slater, Zack Morris. It's going down at Bayside High. Let's get into it. It's just another typical day at school. Zack's minding his business at his locker. AC seems upset. He approaches him in an aggressive manner.
What's so wrong about that?
Wrecking my date with Joanna wasn't funny.
Oh.
Zack immediately senses danger and goes into, "Hey man, what's your problem?" mode.
Started it, man, making me look like a jerk at the max.
Well, that's what you are.
What did you say?
You heard me. Get out of my face.
Now that was a fair warning by Zack. Apparently Slater didn't take him serious.
And what if I don't, punk?
Then I'll just have to make you, punk.
Now we can see Zack has had enough of Slater's shit. He decides to take action. But where he messes up is that shove, because rarely does a shove neutralize a threat. Sensei Kreese taught us all back in the 80s, you strike first, you strike hard, no mercy. These boys should know that. Now, Zack's very fortunate right now because Slater's only response is to shove him back. And what that does is it gives Zack another chance to not look like such a bitch in front of that crowd standing behind him and actually attempt to terminate his adversary. Zack doesn't waste that chance. He loads up and delivers one of the most devastating right crosses I've ever seen. I mean, look at the follow-through on that punch. Watch AC's head snap back as contact is made. It's a beautiful punch. You could tell Zack's been training. Now, I want to take a minute right here to show you what you never do in a fight, especially in a fight to the death like this one. Look at Slater. What do you see wrong here? Exactly. He's standing there leaving himself open like a whore's legs in a brothel. I don't think he realizes the danger he's in by keeping his guard down against someone who's clearly a highly trained striker and a straight-up assassin. Keep in mind now, Slater is a wrestler. He hasn't had any training in boxing, so he's clearly outmatched here in the stand-up game. So what's the first thing Slater does? Closes that distance between him and Zack, making sure he's not on the receiving end of another one of those brutal strikes. Beautiful move by AC. Got to give it to him. Let's move on. He immediately wraps up Zack and goes for the takedown, which should give him the advantage. If we slow it down right here, you can see, looks like there's a little contact made between the ground and Zack's golden mane, clearly leaving him stunned. He's out of it at this point. He sits up in a daze, leaving his pretty face exposed, and Slater springs into action, drops a bomb on Zack that probably would have killed a mortal man. Zack quickly realizes that the only way to stop Slater from opening up a can of ground and pound whoop ass is to wrap him up, and you can see Zack's survival instincts kick in as he realizes, I got one chance here. Gotta try to take Slater's back and go for a chokehold. But Slater's a state champion wrestler. He's seen that move before and lets Zack know, you are no match for my ground game. Zack has to do the only thing that makes sense right here. That's to get Slater back on his feet in order to regain control of this fight. Principal Belden finally makes it to the chaos and jumps into action, putting his own life at risk, breaks up the brawl, essentially saving someone's life because clearly these guys weren't going to stop until someone wasn't breathing. That seemed like a pretty evenly matched fight. One having a slight advantage in the stand-up game, the other one having a slight advantage in the ground game. Made for a beautiful matchup. I'd love to see round two, but unfortunately, these guys have seemed to make up. Everything seems great now. They went to college together, wound up working together through college. Seem to be best of friends now. I don't think we'll ever see that matchup, but we can dream, can't we?
Straight from the swamps of southern Louisiana.